So my name is Tessa. I'm a grateful recovered sex and love addict, abstinent compulsive overeater, a member of Debtors Anonymous, grateful sober alcoholic. There's a lot of, I've been getting a lot of requests lately for sponsorship, and I'm not available. So I decided to start looking at some of the questions that I'm getting and making a series of videos so that I could share some of my experience, strength, and hope without doing it one-on-one. So just finishing up a call in regards to somebody was sharing about we were talking about taking someone's inventory, either through a fantasy, looking for the places where the person is going to indicate that they like us, or through an inventory of checking off and looking for red flags. And here's the thing I've come to awareness about for myself. It's a bit of a jump, but I need to try and be aware. I need to try and be aware of other people in my life around me without criticism. And what does that look like? So deep inside of me is my authentic self, my inner child. And in the dating process, the inner child, at least in my experience, my inner child was looking for those moments of recognition. You do like me, or you don't like me, or you're going to reject me. And addressing some of my abandonment issues, not just in the dating process, but also in the steps, going back to the steps maybe with my sponsor, and maybe doing a 4-step on abandonment or rejection. Really, really helpful to get to know myself and get to know kind of what drove some of those behaviors, because if I didn't address them, they were going to come out in the dating scenario or in the relationship scenario. So can I be aware of another person and their actions and their behaviors without criticism? Can I speak to them in my mind, speak to them in person as the inner loving, supportive parent versus the critical parent, right? I'm not going to go into a relationship and try and change anyone unless that person's me. And then can I speak to my inner child and my inner teenagers as well about staying aware of the person without criticism? So I'll give you an example. 14, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I was single for a couple years, and I was that's 16 years ago. And I was very interested in dating this one particular person who traveled for work, and they would say, listen, I'm going to come in at my plane lands on Friday at 5. I'd like to pick you up at 6, take you out to dinner. 10 minutes to 6 o'clock, I'd be ready for the date. 6 o'clock would roll around, 6:15. I'd done a lot of work with my sponsor on waiting for my mom to pick me up on Friday nights with shared custody. So I had my handle on that. 6:20, 6:25, I'm abstinent in OA, and I respect my own boundaries with food. 6:30, I'm eating dinner, right? Trying to stay open to maybe there was a car accident, maybe the flight was delayed. Next week, accept at the same date offer. Next week, the person would miss it the third time, taking myself out for dinner, taking myself out for a sushi dinner. So that awareness without judgment, that awareness without criticism, because in the awareness, then I can pay attention to whether or not that person is good enough for me, not whether or not I'm good enough for them. So that's what I've got on that topic, but I'm sure there's more. And also in that presence of my higher power with me, then I'm not abandoning myself. And those conversations with my inner self, with my inner child, it's 6:15, 6:20, 6:30, having those conversations with my inner child, gently supporting and loving myself in sobriety, and letting myself know that this is not mom not showing up. This is this person not showing up. And I have a choice not to accept their date in the future. Made a big difference in how I felt about myself and how my weekend went. So I'll share more. I'll do more videos.